of us. And that single thought might be anything, but it always starts from separation, from some kind of negativity that has led to this entire world of extreme negativity that we are seeing in every single direction. And some of us might even feel responsible for what is going on surrounding us, but have no idea how we started it, what happened, and what we can do to prevent it in the future. Understand that violence is much like a virus. It starts out small. It might be something which you feel, yes, that's right, actually. But as it grows, it becomes into something uncomfortable, uncontrollable. You will not even realize it. Before you realize it, it has literally handicapped the entire population, the global population, separated, isolated country by country, and has ultimately been the source for so much destruction. The minute we feel that there is something that is separate from us or against us, that minute we are creating that violence. And always the violence, like a virus, is never is always seemingly negligible, meaning you can just probably throw it away. It's that important, you don't need to address it right now. But ultimately it grows into something that you cannot control, and you feel at the end, I wish I had have addressed this when I under my hand. When you understand different kinds of streams of thought, how violence is sourced, where it starts from, it ultimately brings solution. And even the highest forms of violence that we see, including violence against women today, gender-based violence and femicide, always start, even institutionalized patriarchy, always starts from normalized forms of the misogyny and different kinds of sexualization and objectification of women. Whatever we are seeing, the different kinds of violence started out different kinds of violence against women between countries or between in the nation at large, in the whole community. It always starts again in our intimate homes, in our neighborhoods, and from in between two people. And before that, it always starts inside of one person. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we understood from the very beginning, the Hindu civilization and the ancient Hindu rishis understood the solution behind violence. They understood the forms of violence and the source of violence, and they knew that ultimately violence can be solved, healed, and removed, eliminated from society through consciousness and love, pure love from the consciousness. That is the science, the research, the development of the Hindu civilization, and what ultimately the Hindu civilization contributed to the world. Today, during this program, you will understand and experience how ultimately you can make violence in your irrelevant with this Devi Parashakti Akashic reading program. Just because when you relate to the divine as a mother, all violence simply becomes irrelevant. Because you know ultimately you cannot show existence against life, against the universe, against another person in front of you, against the whole world, against society, especially when you understand that the divine is mother. And when you start seeing everything as your mother, you will understand that you literally belong to existence. You literally came from existence. What's the question? Where's the question of feeling separate, lonely, desperate, or orphan when you are being attended every moment and taken care by your mother, by the divine cosmic mother? In this program, you will experience just that, the shift in cognition between seeing everything around you as a separate and everything around you as something that is separate, and seeing everything around you as your own source, as your mother. And what difference it makes, you'll start to see in your life when you just shift that cognition. If you feel it's too difficult, don't worry. I can assure you that just as with one diksha, one darshan, the cognition that we have around us, that everything is against us, will simply fade. And today you'll be experiencing the Bhava Samadhi darshan of Devi Parashakti. The Bhava Samadhi darshan is a way that you can awaken that costless bliss inside of you, the bliss that comes from the enlightenment experience itself, that comes from never being taking granted things in your life. And you will see how it manifests in such an amazing way. I welcome each and every one of you to this program once again, where you can experience even the Kundalini awakening, the awakening of the latent potential energy inside of you. You will see, you can even see up to 1300% level increase in your energy levels, in your inspiration, your newfound inspiration for life every single day. And this has been researched and shown to the world in several different experiments with the Kundalini awakening by the Avatar, by the Supreme Consciousness. And Devi Parashakti is manifesting through the Supreme Consciousness of Hinduism out of her love and extreme compassion for each and every one of us, to grant us boon, to take care of us in every different level of ourselves, and to reveal our past, present, and future, to guide us in this extremely difficult time. I understand that so many of you are going through something in your life and unable to find solutions. There are so many spiritual solutions, and it is time that we stop looking outside in social institutions or in different kinds of ideas that are presented to us by the society, by the community at large, and start to look in, because that is where it all started first. Today, before we go on to the next segment of today's program, I would like to briefly take a few minutes to introduce to each and every one of you the way that you can be introduced today to the divine cosmic being manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, and as well, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the incarnation of Paramashiva, recognized from birth as the incarnation of Paramashiva, and imbibing the science of Devi, science of power manifestation, and the science of temple-based lifestyle, as well as the science of spiritual alchemy. and imbibed this science from a young age, from his gurus, from the ancient Guru Parampara, and ultimately is today successfully revived that for the global Hindu diaspora and for the whole humanity at large to experience and achieve superconscious breakthrough. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the 14 ancient kingdoms, including being the ordained Guru Mahasannidhanam, the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tonde Mandalam Adinam, the Kanchi Kailas Sarvajnapitam, and as well the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, and as well the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam, the Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Shamala Pita Sarvajna Pitam, the Madurai Adinam, and as well the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the reviver of so many different forms of the Hindu sciences, and with over 300 books which Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored himself in either English, in Tamil or Sanskrit, and has then further translated these into 50 further languages. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atal Akada and the Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akada, and these are two of the ancient epic governing bodies of Hinduism, which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar and Acharya Mahamandaleshwar. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has founded and revived over 100 Sarvajnapitas, and has, through his spiritual discourses, more than 20,000 hours of spoken, and as well as initiations and so many different class sessions and programs, had made himself available for the whole humanity through more than 20,000 hours of discourses, which are all available on YouTube, on Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. As well, you'll be able to see all of this and be able to explore on Nithyanandapedia as well. And it's a pleasure, such a beautiful way that you can be introduced to the avatar and start connecting with the incarnation of Paramashiva himself. And as you can see, I am so happy to be able to announce to each and every one of you that we will be having the grace, the blessing of the Bhava Samadhan of Devi Parashakti on this extremely special occasion of Varalakshmi Vratam. And we'll be having the special live darshan of Devi Parashakti on this occasion for Varalakshmi Vratam. And I wish you all an auspicious Varalakshmi Vratam, as I'm sure so many of you are celebrating and deeply cognizing, celebrating in all different forms this extremely auspicious occasion. So once again, we will be having the divine Bhava Samadhi darshan of Devi Parashakti in just a few hours. And I'm very excited to be able to announce and eagerly awaiting this, as I'm sure many of you also are. So now we are joined by the Nithyananda Gurukul Balasan, who will be guiding us into the next segment of today's program. The Nithyananda Gurukul Balasans will be showing us the demonstration of extraordinary Shaktis. The demonstration of the innate superhuman capabilities that each and every one of us have, that each and every one of you have. And after today's initiation, what could even manifest as your reality. So stay tuned, and we will be entering into the next segment of today's program in just a few short minutes. Yes, now we have joining with us Nithyananda Gurukul Balasan, Ma Yoga Pranar, Ma Viraja. It's always so beautiful to see your faces and you here today. So you can go ahead and be introducing to each and every one of the viewers the possibility that lies ahead of them, which you have been able to demonstrate just with the mere initiation of the Supreme Consciousness with them.
Yes, thank you so much, Manitya Sadashiva Priyananda, for that beautiful introduction. And all of us are going to be graced by Devi Parashakti herself today. So let us at 6 a.m. IST. So let us now move on into the next segment, which is the segment of the power manifestation, where all of you will be witnessing the extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva being manifested by the Balasans of the Nithyananda Gurukul. So today, you will be witnessing the Balasans, the Nithyananda Yogis, the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, demonstrating the powers of third eye and sharing with all the experiences and results of these extraordinary manifestations happening through us just with Diksha, the initiation from the avatar. So in today's program, in this segment, you will be witnessing the following powers of third eye and body scanning. The power of third eye is where one awakens the ability to be able to see through the cosmic browsing center, which is located between the brows, and can access any information through the third eye. And the second power, which all of you will be witnessing, is the power of body scanning, which is the power where one awakens the ability to scan diseases, illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed issues. Not only that, reveal the root cause of the problem and even give a solution for the problem. And before we witness these extraordinary Shaktis being manifested today, let us understand what are Shaktis and let us see how we can awaken them inside of us so we also can have this experience. So, what are Shaktis? In the Veda Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals in elaborate detail that every human being is hardwired to be able to manifest 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis. Manifesting powers, Shaktis, is described as a method, as a system and a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to the various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are the divine and that you need to manifest the divine, not from the cognition that you are a man that you need to reach the divine. So let us see the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis. What are Shaktis and what are Siddhis? Shaktis are the powers which express and manifest from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection and high divine. And Shaktis are the source of enlightenment. Siddhis are the powers that manifest from deep tapas, intense tapas or penance for enlightenment. Siddhis are on the path of enlightenment. Shaktis expressed through ordinary human beings in extraordinary ways, just with the initiation from the avatar. And Shaktis are permanent. Siddhis, whereas, are not permanent and they may divert you from enlightenment. So, who is the source of all these Shaktis? All of you might be thinking, how do we manifest all these Shaktis? Who is the source? How do we get all these Shaktis? Paramashiva. Paramashiva is the source of all these Shaktis. He is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As the fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya, or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Drobhava, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities. And Paramashiva himself has come down in the form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, as the 1008th living incarnation and representation of Paramashiva and the revival of Kailasa. the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, which is a great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been the cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It is where the science of enlightenment, the science of power manifestation, was lived and taught as a lifestyle. And for the first time in modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is reviving these sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record-breaking speed, which was never accomplished before. And Paramashiva himself has come down and has been recognized as an incarnation at a very young age. Swamiji was recognized, trained, and taught these sciences by the Guru Parampara, by all the enlightened gurus. All of you can see, all the enlightened gurus, Mata Vibudananda Puri, Pundi Swamigal, Isakti Swamigal, Annamalai Swamigal, Kanchi Paramacharya, and so many of these gurus who have initiated Swamiji just so he can revive this science from the disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra, Sri Vidya, Yoga, Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita, Bhakti Yoga, Paramashiva Jnana, and Paramashiva Vijnana. So all of you will be thinking, so how to awaken this divine qualities in each and every one of us? So Swamiji says very beautifully that every jnana, which is the ultimate truth, map into your consciousness, which is prajna, manifest as a power and possibility of every being, which is prajna. So let us now watch a short clip. Like all of you will be wondering how these divine powers have been transmitting to each and every one of us. You'll be thinking, like incarnation comes down, you're born with the powers. But how do we human beings actually get these powers? Like all of us want it, right? So it is through the power of Diksha, which is initiation. So let us now watch a short clip on what exactly is Diksha and what are the benefits. This video actually very elaborately explains what effect and what impact the Diksha has, not only in our physical body, even the physiological, everything, mental state, everything, it has an impact, and even science has proven it. So let us now watch this video and understand more about this science.
Diksha is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarvasamapi Dikshanam Muktihi Phalamakhanditam Avirodhat Bhavantyeva Prasangyastu Bhuktayah. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi Diksha Vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda
Yes, with a beautiful video which explained very beautifully how the science of initiation has an impact, has an effect on us. Let us now see how this very science, the power manifestation science, is authenticated through the four aspects of evidences or pramanas. So the four evidences, the four pramanas are the Shastra Pramana, which is the eternal unchangeable truth that are revealed in the source scriptures. The next is the Apta Pramana, or the experiences and results of Aptas, or the authorities of Hinduism. The Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and also verified this science. Third is the Atma Pramana, or the account of Swamiji, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. This millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. And last is the Pratyaksha Pramana, or the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So all of you might be wondering, where do we get all these shastras from, and how are we sure that they are actually something which has happened and not made of stories? We get all these Shastra Pramanas from the Vedas, which is a living applied science. Vedas are the ultimate superior authorities for Hindus, and they are the pure science where the ultimate truths are explained. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded. Vedas and Agamas, Vedagamas, are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. And any reference cited from these Shastras or the source scriptures is called a Shastra Pramana. So without further delay, let us get ready to witness an extraordinary demonstration by the Balasans of the Nithyananda Gurukul. So before we move on, let us enter into the Shastra Pramana, which is from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Kapalantarmanonyasa tishtannilitalochanaha Yamena manaso dadyat lakshaye lakshamuttamam. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the ground center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal Lakshyam. By having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source Paramashiva. The next is the Atma Pramana, where Bhagavan Shri Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye. So this is where all our ancestors have actually manifested this power. It goes back to the time of Dwapar Yuga, where the Mahabharata war happened, and where Bhagavan Shri Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye. And Arjuna beautifully in the 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna beautifully narrates and describes the complete cosmic form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna as he sees it through the third eye. So Bhagavan Krishna beautifully says to Arjuna, Natumam shakyase drashtum anenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. The translation goes, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. That were I grant you the divine third eye. Behold my cosmic opulence. And the next is the Atma Pramana, where Swamiji beautifully shares in his own words and how
Inside and outside.
third eye power. Let us now watch a short clip.
Inside and outside. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 direction, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience. I felt that the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. The setting sun, rising moon, the whole Arunachala hill, all the plants, bush, shrubs, trees, everything, everything, everything. Just became so alive. The idea, something is inside.
Yes. So let us now see the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentation. So the study measures compare the metabolic cell activity of the brain in the conscious and meditative states using the PET, which is the positron emission tomography. So when doing daily activities, high activity is measured in the brain where the third eye is located, and when Swamiji is in the deep state of Samadhi, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the rest of the brain is at peace. So without further delay, let us get ready to witness the extraordinary demonstration by the Balasins of the Nithyananda Gurukul themselves, who will be showing and demonstrating how this extraordinary Shakti is manifested just with the initiation from the avatar. So now I request the slides to stop being projected. All of you will now be witnessing the demonstration. All of you can see I have a medically tested eye band with me, and in front is a complete opaque sheet, and behind is a thick sponge, and you can see that there is no gap under the eye band at all, and there is no possible way of light entering this eye band at any cost. And Balasant, who will be demonstrating this extraordinary Shakti, is Maniti Virijananda, who is 16 years old, and she has been in the Nithyananda Gurukul for past 9 years now, and she is going to be demonstrating this power to all of you today. Yes. So now all of you can see I'm unstrapping the eye band in front of the camera, and I am placing it on Mahavirija's eyes. Mahavirija, are you comfortable? Yes. Yes. So as all of you can see, Mahavirija is completely comfortable with the eye band, and there is no possible way of light entering. I request you to turn to your right, left, up, and down. Yes. So you can, all of you can see that there is no possible way of light entering the eye band. And now I request the YouTube comments to be projected.
Actually, I would like to confirm all the viewers who are watching us live right now that around me there's no sorts of audio devices like speakers, microphones, or there's nobody around me other than my co-host, my yoga prana. Yeah, only she's there. Actually, she can authenticate by saying that yes, there's nothing around me. Only a projector where I'll be reading the comments live.
Yes. So Mavirija, you can go ahead and start reading the chats from the comment section. I request the comment section to be scrolled down a little bit. Yes.
So the latest comment which is posted in Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel is posted none other than Ma Nithyananda, and she has posted blessed and beautiful browsing center blossoms and blooms and I and a full stop. Nithyananda Virida and a smiley face. Yes, Nithyananda, welcome back. Actually, nice to meet you back again.
Yeah. So you're an everyday customer. Yes. And Ma Virija has correctly read out whatever Ma Mahajalandhara Sitananda has posted in the chat section. And all of you can see how Ma Virija was so confident with what she read. There was no doubt, oh, I think it is this or I think it is this. She was very confident. Mahajalandhara Sitananda has posted this and this is what emoji she has posted. So she was very confident about it. That is the power of the third eye. That is how this power is manifested by the Balasins. Yes. Mavirija, you can go ahead and continue.
So in the Facebook comment section, lately is posted by Pargunan Nithyananda has posted Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, and Malati Kanadi has posted I request body scanning and healing, and thank you. Sure, ma, Maladi, you will be having the power of body scanning. We'll be scanning you in the next few minutes.
Yes. Ma Malati, just by the blessings and grace of Swamiji, immediately after this power manifestation of Mavirija demonstrating this power of third eye, you will be witnessing the power of body scanning being manifested by the Balasins of the Nithyananda Gurukul. So do not worry, we'll surely be doing a body scanning. And yes, Mavirija, you can continue reading the comments.
And Satish Rani has posted just a minute ago an emoji where a girl with pink colored hair is holding a heart.
Wow. Even that, Mavirija was so confident, and it was just whatever Paramashiva reveals. It is just a trust with Paramashiva. Yes, Mavirija, you can continue reading.
Yes, Salim G has posted in YouTube Nithyananda and Namaskar emoji and 2 hearts and a mushroom and a girl with dark skin. And Ma Mahajalandhara has posted lol, yes. Everyday customer indeed and a laughing emoji.
Yes, Ma Mahajalandhara Sitananda is an everyday customer and always helps us out with body scanning and everything. Yes, Ma, thank you.
And
yes.
Sanjay Vikaria has posted Nithyananda Balasins and exclamation mark. Gratitude for the wonderful information about the Vedas and the Agamas and 2 Namaskar emoji.
Yes, actually, Sanjay, all this, if you can actually see, if you read the Guru Gita, beautifully says that any Guru, whether you're enlightened, whether you're incarnation or no, if you are transmitting some knowledge to the world, it always has to be acid washed, because the experience you might have specifically will be good for you, but not for the whole world. So Swamiji exactly does that. Any experience he had, Swamiji had the experience of the third eye vision, but he completely acid washed it with the Shastra Pramana and the Apta Pramana, and then only he gave it out to the world as Sakshi Pramana. Till then, Swamiji did not reveal it. Only after acid washing it, Swamiji revealed it. So it is all, everything, all these segments you will be seeing, the power manifestation, everything, and Agamas. We have Shastra Paramanas and everything, full proof for it. So it is completely authenticated through the Shastra Paramanas. Yes, that was a very beautiful demonstration of the power of third eye. Now I'm doing the I-band from Mavirija. Yeah. So now all of you can see the I-band is completely intact. There is no change in the I-band as I just put it on Mavirija. Yes, that was a very beautiful demonstration of the power of third eye. And please stay tuned for the upcoming power, which is the power of body scanning. And now let us enter into the Shastra Pramanas for this power.
So a little about this power of body scanning. Like if you're a newcomer, the power of body scanning is actually where the initiated disciples or the different for the Hinduism will have the ability to scan and reveal the diagnostic issues medically diagnosed and also provide the best way where you can get rid of the disease through the awakened product. Now let us now see the Shastra Pramana, the scripture reference to the power of body scanning, which comes from the Vijnana Ganatantra Sutra 50.
स्वदेहे जगतो वापि सूक्ष्म सूक्ष्मतराणि च तत्त्वानि यानि निलयं ते व्यज्यते परा. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in the source cause, Paramashiva, and by the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi, Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. The next is the Apta Pramana, which is from the life of a Siddha named Terayar. Terayar was a Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agatyar. One day, a man suffering from a severe headache comes to Agatyar for healing. Agatyar uses the power of body scanning and identifies the root cause of the headache. He reveals that there is a small Tere, a type of frog, sitting in the person's brain, and Agatyar immediately instructs Terayar, his disciple, to perform an open head surgery and remove the frog. And remember, this is 5,000 years ago. Terayar successfully completes the surgery. The man is completely healed from the headache, and the disciple gained the name Terayar. And third is the Atma Pramana, which is from the life of Swamiji himself. On the 22nd of December 2019, Swamiji beautifully shares, only when I had a multiple compound hand fracture was I forced to go for checkups and surgery. And at that time, I detected heavy metal quantity in different organs of mine, and it was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical facilities to study the body condition due to the poisoning. Through the body scanning, I found out what the problems and imbalances had happened and where the balance had to be done. I used allopathy as a second opinion just to verify my findings. Swamiji beautifully manifests the power of body scanning and Sushada, going beyond pain. And last is the Sakshi Pramana. All of you will now be witnessing the live demonstration of the power of body scanning by the Balasans of the Nithyananda Guru.
So if you want a body scan, like how to say,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Post your comments in the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel and the HDH Stadium Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page, and you can definitely get a body scanning done.
And if you're very eagerly waiting for the body scan, the latest comment which comes up first, and we'll be doing the scanning. So go ahead and post your comments, and we'll be doing the body scan for those of you who have posted their comments in Facebook and the YouTube channel after a short break.
Okay, now I'm back with the Balasans of the Nithyananda Gurukul, Maniti Brahmayogananda and Masoni, who is going to be demonstrating this extraordinary Shakti to all of you today. Now, I request the YouTube comments to be projected. And all of you will be witnessing the Balasins right in front of you, demonstrating how the power of body scanning can be manifested just by connecting to Paramashiva. The Balasins will be able to scan your body and reveal any problems you are having, and not only that, reveal even the root cause of the problem. They will be able to reveal why the problem started in your body in the first place. So I request the YouTube comments to now be projected. And yes, so okay, so Ma Mahajalandhara Nithyananda has posted, I look after my elderly father, 80. I am always home, but needed to go to the store for Ekadashi yesterday. Past people in store and got scared about Corona. Please scan for the virus in my body. Yes, we will surely be doing a body scanning. As yes, Swamiji has initiated all the Balasins into the power of scanning when the person has COVID-19. And you will be witnessing this power being manifested soon. Till then, Ma Brahma Yoga will be doing a body scanning and revealing any problem that Paramashiva reveals in the body. And Shalimji has requested for body scanning. And before that, can we move on to the Facebook comments? I remember seeing one person post a request for the body scanning. I request the Facebook comments to now be projected. So Ma Malati has requested for a body scanning. So you can do body scanning for Ma Malati, Asoni. And yes, I request the Facebook comments to be scrolled to the above previous comments. I request the previous comments in Facebook to be projected. I request the previous comments in Facebook to be projected. Okay. Okay, we can go back down to the latest comments. Yes, Ma Soni, you can go ahead.
Nithyananda Paramashivam, Ma Paramashivam revealed that you need really lots of water in your body. Ma, you are having stomach ulcers. So Paramashivam revealed that drink at least 5 liters of water in a day. Your stomach ulcers will be completely healed.
Okay. And yes, Ma Malati, that was a scanning for you. I request you to get back in the chat section. And you have requested for a body scanning for Jagannath Kannade, and you have his consent. Yes, Ma, surely we'll be doing a body scanning. Ma Soni, you can go ahead and do the body scanning for Jagannath Kannade. And Ma Brahma Yoga, you ready? Yes, you can go ahead.
Yes, so Ma Mahajalandhara Nithyananda, Paramashiva revealed to me that your immunity, but he revealed that that for you to strengthen it even more, start taking bath with cold water in the morning. No, stop using warm water and start using cold water while you take bath. And also from 3 meals, reduce it to 2 meals a day. If you follow these 2 things, the system starts becoming really strong and you'll also start becoming really active.
Yes, and one more thing, Ma Paramashiva just revealed it to me. Paramashiva revealed to put turmeric in the water which you're taking bath with and start drinking hot water, like a boiled tulsi in water, and start drinking hot water and you'll be completely fine. So I request you also to get back in the chat section. I request the YouTube comments to now be predicted. Okay. Yes, Ma Soni, before you go ahead, Paramesh Arumugam has requested for body scanning. Brahma Yoga, you can do body scanning for Paramesh Ayya.
Nithyananda, I did the body scanning for Jagannath Kannade. Here Paramashiva revealed that you are having cavity in your teeth area. So for that Paramashiva revealed solution as to brush with Parashakti twice a day. Once when you get up, and second time when after having your last meal, and in the last brush with Haridaki after having all your meals. And second thing, Paramashiva revealed that this neck weak and bone is really weak. Paramashiva revealed that you have to do a massage with mustard oil, warm mustard oil.
Okay, yes, and I request Facebook comments to be projected. This is for
Jagannath.
so Ma Malati, I request you to get back. Ma Soni just revealed the body scanning for Jagannath Ayya. And yes. And yes, Ma Brahmayoga, you can also go ahead.
Yes, so I did the body scanning for Paramashiva, and Paramashiva revealed to me that Paramashiva revealed to me that kidney stones are starting to form in your body. So what you should do is immediately start taking castor oil and tulasi water. 1 cup of tulasi water and 1 tablespoon of castor oil with hot water. If you follow this solution every day, the kidney stones will automatically break and dissolve, and you'll be completely fine.
So that was beautiful scanning. Paramesh Arumugamaya, I request you to get back. And Sanjay Vikari Ayya, Ma Soni is doing the body scanning for you. So yes, you can go ahead.
Nithyananda Sanjay Ayya, Paramashiva revealed that you are having really weak immune system. So Paramashiva revealed that to build your immune system. Immune system. Take green juice in the morning, empty stomach, and have castor oil also.
Yes, that was a very beautiful body scanning. Yes, so I request all of you who have gotten the body scanning to get back in the chat section and share with us whether you were able to relate with the scanning. And Paramashiva has beautifully revealed this through their third eye, and they have even revealed a solution and what to do to solve this problem. See, if you have any problem, you go to the doctor, right? And example, you have a cough or something, you'll go to the doctor, and the doctor will diagnose you with some problem, cancer, disease, whatever. And the doctor can give you medicines. But the one thing which the doctor can do is reveal the root cause of the problem. Why that problem started in your body. All of you know, our body is very mysterious, as we have just a small cancer can be related to the HDH you're holding, the self-hatred you're holding inside of you. And any disease you have or any skin problem you have can be related to mother incompletion or some childhood incompletion. So our body is very mysterious, and the one thing which the doctor cannot find out is the root cause of the problem. And the speciality of the third eye is that the third eye will reveal the root cause. Sometimes you will not be able to even relate with the body scanning. But Paramashiva reveals something completely different, because he is revealing the root cause of why the problem even started in your body in the first place. And for that, Paramashiva reveals a solution. And Ma Mahajalandhara Nithyananda has gotten back in the YouTube, HDH Nithyananda YouTube section, that I request the YouTube comments to be projected. That thank you, Ma Brahma Yoga and Ma Yogaprana. Yes, I do have a strong immune system. Paranoia and fear are not nice. I tend to have warm showers, so now we'll do cold bucket bath and add turmeric to it. And she has also gotten back telling me also drink the tulsi water. It's been in my mind recently to do that. I'm still getting my gut fixed, but once it's back on track, I will do 2 meals or even 1. Okay. Yes, Ma, just follow whatever Paramashiva reveals and you will be completely healed. And remember, Swamiji is always there protecting you. So don't be in the fear or anything. Trust Swamiji always. And Ma Sanjay Vikari Ayya has gotten back telling thank you. Paramashiva's advice will be well followed. Yes, thank you Ayya for getting back. And Paramesh Arumugam has gotten back telling thank you. Yes, we thank all of you for getting back. And now it's time. We are going to be concluding this session. And we thank all of you for joining us in this segment of the Power Manifestation. And you can always join back every day at 2 a.m. IST and 4 p.m. IST to witness this Power Manifestation segment. The extraordinary Shakti is being demonstrated. And please stay tuned, as we are going to have the special live Bhavasmadhi Darshan of Devi Parashakti herself at 6 a.m. IST 20th August and 5:30 p.m. PST 19th August. So we thank all of you for joining us. Thank you. Nithyananda. We'll be having Ma Madhura joining with us, who will be teaching all of us about the divine feminine consciousness and who is Devi Parashakti. Much more.
Yes, Nithyanandam, everyone.
Yes, Nithyananda Ma Madhura, please go ahead.
Yes, I request the entity volunteer to project the next slide. Yes. So now in this next segment, we will be learning about the divine feminine consciousness, about who is Devi Parashakti. So let us first look at the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, which comes from the Lalita Sahasranama. Sindhuraruna vigraham trinayana manikya mauli spurate taranayaka shekharam smitamukhim mapina vakshoruham Panibhyamaliporna ratna chashakam raktotpalam bhibratim Saumyam ratna gatasta rakta charanam dhyayet paramambika. And the translation for this verse is, the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in a vermilion red body with triple eyes, sporting a crown of rubies, studded with the crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. And the other verse, which also comes from the Lalita Sahasranama, Arunam karunam tarangatakshim dritapashankushapapam animadibhiravritam ayukaihi rahamityeva vibhavaye papani. And the translation for this is, I meditate on the great empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion. She holds the noose, the good, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as anima for rays, and she is the self within me. And Devi Parashakti is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in, and the source where the Big Bang and black holes go on and on. Parashakti is the source Shakti, the source energy, the source power from which all of us came, in which all of us are in even now, and in which all of us are going to merge. And today, out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatar of the Supreme Pontiff Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. And in the words of Devi Parashakti, she beautifully says, raising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Shrimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in 40 triangles, the Kailasha Swami is in Kailasha, Shri Purachintamani, Parashodasi, Meenakshi, Parashodasi sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi as Nithyananda, Nijavatara here, to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness, Hiranya Garbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajya Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi, taking the form of Nithyananda, I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion and blessing, listen people, to do good to all of you, I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. And again, Devi Parashakti beautifully says, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, and Jnana, growing as four Vedas, expanding as five Panchabhutas, beyond six chakras, filled as Gotras of seven Rishis, expanding as five Panchabhutas, beyond six chakras, filled as Gotras of seven Rishis, existing as nine, expanding as eight directions, existing as nine grahas, blossoming as 10 indriyas, being as 11 rudras, creating all the worlds to tell and make truth blossom and to do good. Parashorasi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. And now let's see how we can receive Devi Parashakti. So literally we're seeing Paramashivoham Parashakti at that moment. She is there on your screen, so always receive her very traditionally. You can keep 2 betel leaves, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and a coin in front of the screen as you receive Devi Parashakti. And for those of you who don't know, the coin is actually considered the traditional dakshina in the Hindu tradition. It can be the lowest value. In India, it can even be just 1 paise. In the US, it can even be just a cent. Swamiji says, I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent, it is okay. So for 100 days, if you have darshan, it will add up to $1. In India, even 1 paise is okay. And you can offer that to Devi Parashakti. And once the darshan is over, you can do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and the betel nut, taking it as prasadam immediately. And the coins that you collect, you can send it to the Los Angeles temple for the further procedures. And some of you might be wondering how this betel leaf and betel nut may benefit you, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, how will it benefit you? So this betel leaf and betel nut may look too small, but in a few days, you will see how much that's your sentiment that really Devi Parashakti is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful combinations. It will break your unconscious behavior. And now all of you can see how you can set up your tambulam. You can set up the 2 betel leaves, the 1 banana, the 1 betel nut, and the coin. You can set it up all in a plate. These are the 4 basic items, as you can see in the image. There are a few additional items also kept, such as a coconut, some kumkum, turmeric, bangles, and some flowers. So these 4 items, the betel leaf, the betel nut, the banana, and the coin, are the 4 basic items. But if you would like, you can also keep the additional items. So you can set up everything up in a plate, keep it in front of the screen, and receive Devi Parashakti when she comes for the darshan. And with that, we come to the conclusion of this segment where we have learned who is Devi Parashakti and how you can receive Devi Parashakti when she comes for the darshan. So with that, we'll now be moving to the next segment of this program where we will be seeing what Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic and how important it is for all of us to understand, internalize, and follow what Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Akashic readings. So with that, we'll be back after a really short break to move on to the next segment.
I mean by the word e-Kailasa? Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystems. I invite all of you to get involved and enjoy Hinduism by the principle of Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha. When you protect Dharma, Dharma protects you. We will make the whole.
Nithyananda, welcome. Now we will be entering into the next segment where we will understand some of the revelations made by Devi Parashakti for humanity. So as we all know, humanity is still undergoing the effects of the cosmic surge, the Pralaya. Thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic and emerging fungal epidemic, along with the record numbers of natural disasters, have taken a huge toll on humanity's collective psyche, leading to an increase in poverty, malnutrition, depression, and mental health issues. So what has caused this? Who is behind it? How could this have been avoided? What is the solution for this? In this segment, let us go through an analysis of Devi Parashakti's revelation on the cause and solution for this pralaya. As all of us know, over 4 million people have died over the course of this pandemic, and over 175 million people have been infected with COVID-19, and the worst affected countries are the US, India, and Brazil. And the number of COVID cases in India alone has crossed well over 29 million. And the number of deaths due to COVID-19 has crossed well over 374,000, with 75 million people falling into poverty since the beginning of the pandemic. Now, these numbers are considered to be severely underreported, so the actual situation could be much worse than what we know. And India is not just suffering from this global pandemic, but the suicide and mental health issues as well. India is the 6th most depressed country in the world. And 6.5% of the population is suffering from some form of mental illness. And there is a rate of 10.9 for every 1 lakh people with suicide. And suicide is one of the biggest causes of death among the age group of 15 to 24 years. India from this ongoing pandemic, but several natural disasters have been affecting the country, including the cyclone in Kerala and recently the floods in Maharashtra. And as this pandemic continues on, there is a serious cause for concern for the third wave, which is to come very soon. So how could we have prevented this? How could we have avoided all of this? Devi Parashakti revealed on the 31st of May 2021 the reason for this ongoing. Let us listen to that revelation.
வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம்.
So let us look at the translation of Devi's revelation. For this huge Devi Bhojanam, hell not to come to India. In 2020 itself, I had planned to do the Padayatra throughout India and the 12 Jyotirlingas to my son Swami. They chased the captain of the ship out of the country. See what is going to happen. Let us go back to 2017 when the Supreme Court of Hinduism revealed the vision for the Padayatra that was to take place. Let us watch that video now.
Want to do 1 year Padayatra specially for this purpose in 2020. 2020, planning for a full year. I'm going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people, just walking all over India to spend time with people. 2020, there will not be any program other than Padayatra and just spending time with people. Just walking. Of course, 10,000 people will be walking with me. Maybe 200 vehicles to carry our food and all the other items, transportation. Enjoying the river banks, forests, and time with nature. 10,000 people manifesting powers, walking from village to village. What do you think will happen? The scene of Buddhism spreading will be repeated now. How the Buddhism spread. 10,000 monks walking from village to village. What will happen? That's only monks. Here power manifesting 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting powers. Just want to enjoy India and let India enjoy me. So planning for next year Kumbh Mela 2019, next year January Kumbh Mela. Before that, all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside. with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower, and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 feet. This will be the Balalayam. And after the Mulalayam is built, this Balalayam will serve as a Utsava Murti Sannidhi, where the Utsava Murtis will be worshipped and where the Archanas. See, in the main temple, there will not be any Archana or anything, because just for darshan itself, there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have darshan and Arti, the camp for Arti. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. Because 12 Abhishekam is going to happen, 12 Kala Abhishekams. So continuously the rituals will be going on. People can have only darshan. They will not be able to involve themselves in any ritual. Other than darshan, nothing else will be allowed. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the Balalayam, the present Balalayam, present structure. So people can spend time here. That will be more like a main darshan. This will be like energy darshan, where you can give letter, get response. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year, I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the one full year Padayatra, walking. From next year, Jayanti, means 2019's Jayanti to 2020's Jayanti. Full year, Jayanti to Jayanti will be Padayatra. Before that, we will make 10,000 people power manifestors. It will be sannyasi, brahmachari, grihastha, all put together. 10,000 people will be walking. What a scene it will be. I think that is the only way the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma.
And Supreme Pontiff Hinduism revealed the vision for the Padayatra to take 10,000 power manifestors from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and to meet people where they are, to allow them to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, be blessed by him. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was ready to give any solution for any problem for every single person, whether it's physical problem, mental problem, psychological problem, emotional problem. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was ready to attend to people where they are. This whole Padayatra would see a huge revival of Hinduism, like the seed of Buddhism spreading. We would see how Hinduism would once again be revived to its glory. And since the age of 10, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been enriching people and preparing them for this Padayatra, to save them from this pralaya, and to bring the superconscious breakthrough to humanity. And from that age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been enriching and initiating the masses into the science of enlightenment through powerful discourses, initiations, and darshan. So over the next few slides, we will see some of the programs that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been conducting over the past 26 years and blessing people with. Here you can see in Vellore, Tamil Nadu in 2005. In Rastipuram in Tamil Nadu in 2005. In Namakkal in 2005. And in Salem in 2005. The Nithyananda program in Vidadi. The Birth Star celebrations in Tiruvannamalai in 2005. The Jayanti celebrations in Adi Kailash Satyajita. the Jayanti celebrations in Tiruvannamalai, the Nithyananda program in Chennai, the Guru Purnima celebrations in the Adi Kailasa Sabbath. And each of these photos, you can see how many people are in attendance, how many people from different various backgrounds who are being blessed into the science of enlightenment. The Bhakti Purnima program, the Dhyana Purnima program, the Little Anandas program, which was blessing the youth into the science of enlightenment. The Saptayagam, which was Salem, which was a series of homas conducted by the Supreme Constitution, where he also guided disciples into the same homa. You can see the photos of the Supreme Constitution himself conducting the homas, as well as blessing people and guiding them into the same homa. This was a huge offering to humanity. And the Nithyananda Purnima program in Adi Kailasa Sarvitra, the Nithyananda Purnima program in Salem, and all of these programs help to guide people, to bless people, to prepare them for this superconscious breakthrough, to guide them through this pralaya, and to prepare them for this re-energizing process. However, the anti-Hindu elements made it nearly impossible for the Supreme Conscious of Hinduism to do the Padayatra and the re-energizing process by driving the Supreme Conscious of Hinduism out of India. So let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on the solution for this.
2022 வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதை புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
And Devi revealed that only when the Supreme Conscious of Hinduism is received in India as the head of the Kailasa with great reverence and respect, and is able to do the Padayatra and the re-energizing process of Jyotirlinga, only then will this pralaya end in India. And as we look around, we see so much of destruction and suffering. We see what the great rishis of Vedic civilization had forewarned as the Kali Yuga. The Kali Yuga is considered to be the worst of the 4 yugas, where man will be his own worst enemy. In the Purva Purana, the Vyasa tells this Kali Yuga is the worst of the 4 yugas in all the ages. People are sinful and forget the dharma, the 4 varanas and the 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins. The only place which is free from sin is the great sacred city of Varanasi, the Mahapuri. And in the Purana, it also states that Lord Rudra, Paramashivoham himself, is the avatar for the Kali Yuga. And the translation of this verse, Brahma is the presiding divinity or Devata for the Krita Yuga, the first cycle of time. In the Treta Yuga, the second cycle of time, it is Bhagavan Kavi, Surya, and which appeared Sri Rama. In the Dvapara Yuga, the third cycle of time, the presiding divinity is Vishnu. And in the Kali Yuga, the fourth cycle of time, the current age, the presiding divinity, the avatar is Rudra, Lord Maheshwara, Mahasavasva himself. And on the 2nd of January, 1978, out of his deepest compassion to protect humanity, Paramashiva himself descended into the human form in the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept, Jagat Guru Mahasanidana, his divine Bhagavan Nithyananda. And if Paramashiva had waited even one more year to take a human form, if he had waited till 1979, it would have been too late for humanity. So let us understand what this means in the Supreme Consciousness own words.
And I tell you, O Hindus, don't be afraid. I am back with the same science. We are going to be rich. It is not lost. Just the last minute climax. Before it was going to be put off, have happened. (1979) would have been late. 1979 would have been late. If I had time, I would have sent only ambassadors. Because no time, I have to get up and come directly. O Hindus, feel blessed. Science is not dead. It is available. I have everything needed to bring that science back to life and establish its legitimacy.
And the Avatar's advent on the planet Earth was to protect the world from this great cosmic deluge, to bring the new age, the Satya Yuga. So let us listen to Devi Parashakti herself revealing about this.
ஓம் உலக மக்களே கேளுங்கள். கலி முற்றி கலி கழிந்து புதுயுகம் சத்தியயுகம் புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம். கவலை வேண்டாம் மக்களே. நித்யானந்தன் வடிவம் தாங்கி நாமே இங்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். நித்திய யுகம் செய்வோம், நித்திய யுகம் சத்தியயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
And the translation of Devi's revelation, people of the world, listen, the time has matured, the time has come, and it has matured into the time. Kali Yuga has matured, and over time, it has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So great Pralaya has come. Don't worry, people. In the form of Nithyananda, I myself have come here. I will make Nithya Yuga. Nithya Yuga will blossom as Satya Yuga. Be blissful. For this huge health devotion not to come to India in 2020, I plan to do the Padayatra throughout Jyotirlinga through my son Swami. And in order to prepare for this, the avatar began the Padayatra at the mere age of 10. And the Supreme Consciousness began enriching people one person at a time with the great truth from the sacred scriptures and the secrets of higher living. Even at the age of just 14, all of his classmates would follow the Yatra, where the Supreme Consciousness led them from Kuriyatam, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, the birthplace of the Supreme Consciousness, and a huge pilgrimage site. And when the Supreme Consciousness was around 19 years old, all his fellow classmates at the Ramakrishna Math recall the Yatra, where the Supreme Consciousness led them from Chennai, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, and gave them an unforgettable pilgrimage trip experience. And the Supreme Consciousness continued walking the length and breadth of India, reaching more and more people, and preparing each one until the Supreme Consciousness founded the international mission, the Nithyananda Paramashivam, and to revive Kailasa internationally on the 31st of December, 1999. And the Supreme Consciousness established the first Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem, the Tiruchangota Adinam, on the 14th of April 2001. And here you can see the photos of the Supreme Consciousness on the day of the inauguration, when he was just 23 years old. And in 2003, the Avatar continued his Vijayatra all over the world to enrich people from various backgrounds. And the Supreme Consciousness intensity and dedication for the people, even among crowds who do not understand English, the Supreme Consciousness voice resonated deeply with each being and moved each one to tears. Here you can see in Guadeloupe and in Brazil, the people receiving Supreme Consciousness with so much of gratitude and affection, despite not understanding any of his teachings necessarily. And in 2004, the Avatar led his disciples on the first Himalayan Yatra, visiting temples, delivering satsangs, and initiating them into the super conscious breakthrough. And subsequently, the Avatar personally organized and led yearly yatras and guided individual souls, not just to physical spiritual sites, but to eternal spiritual realms. And in 2006, the Padayatras were taken to the next level with the Kodikan Padayatra, with crores of people participating, and each person impacted by Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari, who traveled from city to city, blessing each being who laid eyes on them. And here's a short clip of the Kodikan Padayatra, and you can see how much people were blessed to be in the presence of the Supreme Consciousness, and how they are literally overjoyed to see just his very form. the Kodikanta Vyasa culminated with the consecration and inauguration of the Garbha Mandir, the sanctum for Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti, and the Vayungalinga in Adi Kailasa Sadhya, Bangalore, South India. And these deities were energized as Archapatas, to radiate the energy of Paramashiva and Parashakti to create Adi Kailasa Sadhya as a ship to save humanity from this upcoming Kalaya and to bring them into the new age, the Satyuga. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism created innumerable spiritual energy centers throughout India as safe havens during this great deluge. And here are just three of them: the Kailasa in the jungle, the Adi Kailasa Satyakimsa, and the Kailasa in Hyderabad. And in 2008, the Avatar created and energized the Nithyananda Vaidya River with the Anandalingam, which would protect anyone who bathes in its waters from deadly COVID-19. Let us watch a short clip of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism performing Akashic for the Anandalingam.
नमः सहस्राक्षाय च चतुर्धन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च जिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय च शुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे च जिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च दीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो च घन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्रोप्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय च आशुरथाय च नमः शूराय च वभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरुथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च शुधिमते च नमः तीक्ष्णे च वेजायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूप्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईर्ध्याय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ओम नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शंगाय च वशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवधराय च कीर्त्याय च पूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्ट्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः ईरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगंशिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च
And in 2009, the Avatar held another Kodikuta Vyasa and garnered international attention, creating a movement where lakhs of Hindus were once again embraced Hinduism. Let us watch a short clip.
போல நின்பதம் கண்ட என் மனோ நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நின்முகம் நீனைந்து இங்கு நிர்மலமாகவே ஆனதே இதய சக்கரம் அனகதமும் இனிமையோடு திறந்ததே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே மற்றவர் கண்டு மறைகள் எல்லாம் கழன்று விசுத்தி அதுவும் அசுத்தியாய் பொறாமையோடிங்கு ஏக்கத்தோடப்பா புண்ணியம் எல்லாம் போனதே எரிந்தவயிரும் ஏக்கமும் சேர்த்து விசுத்தி அசுத்தியானதே விசுத்தியை தீர்க்க விமலனின் பதம் பிரிந்து இங்கு வரவேணுமே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே ஆமை பூகுந்த எண்ணகந்தீனை பொறாமை பூகாது காக்கவே
You can continue to the next slide, please. Wherever the avatar's feet have graced the planet Earth, there the seeds of super consciousness have been sown. With over 1,000 Kailas enlightenment ecosystems established all over the world, over 1 billion people have been enriched by sacred secrets from our scriptures and blessed into the science of enlightenment. And in the next few slides, you'll just see some of the Kailas enlightenment ecosystems established by the Supreme Consciousness to bless humanity, to guide them through the Pralaya, and to create an ecosystem where the science of enlightenment can be shared. So the first that you'll see here is the Adi Nithyananda, the Kailasa Nido, which was the first Kailasa established by the Supreme Consciousness. The Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita in Bangalore, India. The Kailasa in Tirunelveli. The Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio. The Kailasa in Los Angeles, California. The Kailasa in San Jose, California. The Kailasa in Seattle, Washington. The Kailasa in Houston, Texas. The Kailasa in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Kailasa in New York. The Kailasa in Washington, D.C. The Kailasa in Toronto, Canada. The Kailasa in Oklahoma City, California. Or Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona. The Kailasa in St. Louis, Missouri. The Kailasa in Oman. The Kailasa in Dubai. The Kailasa in London. The Kailasa in Scotland, UK. The Kailasa in Netherlands. The Kailasa in Slovakia. The Kailasa in Belgium. The Kailasa in Luxembourg. The Kailasa in Austria. The Kailasa in Germany. The Kailasa in Italy. The Kailasa in France. The Kailasa in Switzerland. The Kailasa in Mauritius. The Kailasa in South Africa. the Kailasa in Salem, the Kailasa in Hosur, the Kailasa in Patnam, the Kailasa in Varanasi, the Kailasa in Rajapalayam, the Kailasa in Hyderabad, the Kailasa in Kerala, and the Kailasa in Gujarat, which is the Yogi Sarvati. The Kailasa in Tiruvanmiyur, the Kailasa in Alankulam, the Kailasa in Tambaram, Chennai, the Kailasa in Avadi, Chennai, the Kailasa in Chennai again, the Kailasa in Melbourne, Australia, the Kailasa in New Zealand, the Kailasa in Singapore, the Kailasa in Kuala Lumpur, the Kailasa in Guadalupe, South America. And all of these Kailasa were created as a community to foster the scientific enlightenment, to bring a superconscious breakthrough for this for humanity and to guide them through this pralaya and to ensure humanity survives this great cosmic delusion. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created the sovereign order of Kailasa with thousands of sannyasis with no discrimination against caste or religion. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands into Nithyananda, the spiritual healing, who are actively healing millions all over the world. And over 2,500 satsang centers and Radhika mandirs have been established and operate as de facto entities of Kailasa. And the avatar has inspired millions to reclaim their Hindu-centric freedom. And thousands of padayatras have been conducted by the Hindu diaspora worldwide, honoring the hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the revival of Kailasa, and each one silently being prepared for what was to come to the future. And in 2017, devotees in Malaysia planned a padayatra and executed it successfully with thousands participating and the dying Hindu population being reinvigorated in Malaysia. And for every major festival, devotees from all over the world have conducted padayatras out of their sincere devotion and love for the avatar. In over the past 26 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed immensely to humanity through various programs and has offered 1 billion free organic nutritious meals and continues to do so, and has enriched and reached over 1 billion people worldwide in 347 cities, 196 countries across 6 continents. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the world's largest Hindu university in US, Canada, Slovakia, Switzerland, and France. And the Kailasa is the world's largest and greatest digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views. You can connect with us on our various platforms on social media, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, and many more. And you can visit kailasa.org, nithyananda.org, nithyanandahinduuniversity.org, Kailasa TV, and Kailasa Nithyananda TV to learn more about the various offerings that you can receive through becoming an e-citizen of Kailasa. And you can, of course, also connect with us on your phone through the Enlightened app, where you can literally have enlightenment on your phone. Have Swamiji's continuously with you. So if you would like to sign up for any of these and connect with us through any of these, you are more than welcome to do so. And connect to become an e-citizen of Kailasa by visiting kailasa.org. And all of these offerings from the Supreme Conscious Buddhism are to enrich humanity, to guide them through this pralaya, and to bring the super conscious breakthrough for humanity. So if you would like, you can sign up today and avail all of the benefits of becoming an e-citizen of Kailasa. So with this, we will conclude this segment of the program and move into the next segment of the program, which is the offering segment, where you can learn some of the various offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. Devi has been continuously blessing us, continuously guiding us, literally holding our hand as our mother through this pandemic, through this pralaya, to ensure that we are protected. And if you are just overflowing with gratitude and love for your cosmic mother, you are welcome to stay tuned to the next segment and see how you can offer your love to Devi through the various offerings. So we will be right back after a very quick break and enter into the offering.
I mean by the word e-Kailasa? Listen intensely. Enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is e-Kailasa. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution. And setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Pitas all over the world. All powerful cognition, knowledge.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all of the viewers. If you have been with us from the very beginning of the program, thank you so much for staying tuned, and I hope that you've been enjoying this program where to the divine cosmic being, Devi Parashakti. I wish and I hope that each and every one of you are enjoying this experience. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, you can always comment down in the comment section in any of the social media platforms that you are tuning in from. And I also would like to share with all of the viewers, if you haven't already, there will be a live special darshan, Bhava Samadhi darshan of Devi Parashakti at 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time on the 20th of August, and that's just not too far away. And I'm so eagerly awaiting the divine darshan of Devi Parashakti. If you have been joining in for the last few weeks during the month of Adivelli, it's been an absolute exquisite spiritual feast, the darshans that each and every week the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is praising as Devi Parashakti in her divine forms. It has just been, I can say, a feast, absolutely fulfilling, not just for the hunger of the stomach, but the hunger of our soul itself, our consciousness itself. And on this auspicious occasion of Varalakshmi Vratam, every year, this is the time that we celebrate the Varalakshmi Vratam. We celebrate Devi Parashakti in the form of Lakshmi in all of her various different forms, giving in abundance. That is of Lakshmi. And this is a perfect time for you to make an offering to Devi Parashakti. Once again, I'd like to reiterate to all of the viewers that there's so much in our lives that Devi Parashakti has given, and especially for us Kailashians, Devi Parashakti has manifested for the last over 5 months on just continuously giving us, attending to us, taking care, no matter where we are in the world, no matter if we are joining in from Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, or if we are joining in on our own, just connecting through social media. If we are connecting, Devi Parashakti has made herself available, manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, answering our questions and giving us and granting us our boons, revealing the past, present, and future, guiding us through these extremely intense and strenuous times. And especially for us Kailashians, we know, at least we know, and if I'm talking to any of you Kailashians out there, we know that Devi Parashakti has literally made us feel as if we are inside, we are in the calm of the storm. While so much is going on outside, social upheaval, a global pandemic, lockdown in all fronts, we are safely sitting inside attending Paramashivoham program or attending the Kailasa courtyard sessions. If any of you are tuning in right now and joining us, this is the time that we can offer our gratitude for being a part, for Devi Parashakti manifesting our lives, making herself available and helping us. These offerings are a divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness. And these might be extremely foreign to you, these concepts. Pure love might be something that you don't believe in, devotion, something you never experienced, and oneness, you can't even relate to it. And you don't ever feel oneness and maybe not even experience what it might be like to experience yourself as one with all of existence. But understand that in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, pure love, devotion, and oneness are the very core fundamentals in a very real experiential way. Nowadays, we don't offer gratitude in our lives for anything, even the smallest of things. We're not able to have that gratitude and appreciation for all things in our life. And we usually deal things with a give and take. In the Guaranteed Solutions book, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored himself and given so many different programs on this very subject of opening gratitude in our lives and going from discontentment to gratitude. He narrates a beautiful story. He says that one day a man was asking God, praying intensely to God, that he would like $10 million. And he said that, I'd like $10 million. Please give me $10 million. If you do this, I promise, I swear that I will offer you in your shrine 20% of the $10 million. And then he said, if you don't believe me, you can take $2 million and I will keep and you can give me the $8 million that's remaining. Understand that our dealings, relationship with the whole universe, with God themselves, is a dealing. It's a negotiation. If you give me this, I'll give you this. And we always like to negotiate with the divine. Even God, when it comes to religion, prayer, and when it comes to the most sacred part of our existence, belief itself, and our religious belief system, it always comes down to a give and take system, a barter system. However, this is not the way that Sanatana Hindu Dharma works. We often lose gratitude in our lives and take for granted everything that that we are experiencing. When we just start to feel gratitude and we consciously build gratitude towards the conscious energy, towards the cosmic energy and the existence itself, that's when things start to flower for us. Gratitude ultimately is a way that we reach the ultimate oneness with the divine, the experience of oneness with the divine. There's another beautiful story from the same chapter from Guaranteed Solutions book by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which the Supreme Pontiff has authored and even spoken on and given so many different programs for millions of people across the world. The story goes that one day another man was asking God, and he was extremely faithful towards God. He was every single day he was praying to God and everything. And he said he prayed that in a very near-death experience, he saw his whole life as if he was walking on the beach. And he saw many times there were two footsteps and two pairs of footsteps. And he understood that that was God there with him, and God was with him throughout his whole life. But he saw that he was alone, and he was feeling alone in his life. And when he really, really needed God, there was only one pair of footsteps along the beach sand. And he asked God, what is this? Why have you just left me there? And in his prayers, God answered him, understand, it is not your footsteps there. I was the one who is carrying you during those times, and it's my footsteps. When we understand this, we will understand that God, existence, cosmic energy, the divine is with us no matter what. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enriched, has transformed the lives of millions with just the enlightening touch, the diksha that he is giving. Not just with that, but feeding so many people with more than 1 billion meals served, and continuously making himself available to give us the ultimate knowledge to transcend the pain and suffering in every conflict in our lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during the darshan, and when a devotee, a person who goes to him and requests for something, often the response they get is, I'll take care, I'll be with you. It's just these words that has brought so many millions of people, including myself, through the toughest times in their life and even through this global pandemic, and has made them survivors, leaders, and agents of change in the world to transform and become the highest reality that they would want to be. So it's not just myself, but so many millions of people who can attest to the fact that this simply offering our gratitude and understanding that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, incarnation of Paramashivoham himself, and the divine cosmic beings will simply take care of us. And existence is carrying us forward. That helps us understand when we consciously build this, we are literally manifesting, paving the way towards experiencing oneness. Understand that there's actually two religions in the world, the two types of religions. One is a religion out of prayer, when we continuously ask, even in our prayers, we are just asking for things. And there's another, which is the religions of gratitude. The religions of prayer and praying out of fear of God or out of greed for something never lead to transformation. That's what we should understand deeply. We pray, and when we're continuously asking, we'll never that fulfillment in our lives. We'll never experience transformation inside of you. When we experience gratitude, only then we are paving the way towards transformation, and we are consciously building the transformation that is going to happen on us, we will see that existence simply showers on us. So that is the context behind every single offering, consciously building gratitude. And understand that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism always says that through these offerings, until you manifest your reality as you wanted, we will manifest it for you. So even whatever you want in your life, don't worry, we will take care. And through these offerings, as we have seen so many times, be able to simply see your manifest your reality as you want it. So we'll be going through and literally peeling layer by layer, understanding the various offerings that we have, how we can consciously build our gratitude in our lives to Devi Parashakti and to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, incarnation of Paramashiva. And before I enter into this segment, I would like to first offer my love, my gratitude to Devi Parashakti through this Dhyana Shloka. And the Dhyana Shloka is nothing but the beautiful remembrance of Devi Parashakti, remembering her beauty, her radiance, her resilience, and her power, and admiring that for myself, cherishing that within my inner space. And now let me chant the Dhyana Shloka, and let us all be in that space as we are entering into this segment. Indunivabedakaravahinayanam syat pankajabharabhayajapakshasarayuktam angahimabhushana vichitravasanam syat tungamukattojjalamanonmaniswarupam. And the English translation now be chanting. Moonlight face holding the Vedas on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus flower gracing and blessing hands in one hand with the japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining bright crown. Her name is Manonmani. ध्याये देवीं त्रिनेत्रां शशिनिभवदनां वेदहस्तां ददानां सव्ये पद्मं वरदमपरे चाभयं चाक्षमालां दिव्यैराभरणैर्विभूषिततनुं ब्रह्मादिभिः पूजितां देवीमेव मनोन्मनीं प्रतिदिनं कामत्रदात्रीं शुभाम्. And the English translation once again. I meditate on Devi with three eyes glowing like the moon and holding the Vedas, lotus and gracing with blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and precious boons for all actions every day. Yes. So having invoked and invited, cherished, offered our love to the presence of Devi Parashakti herself, now let us peel layer by layer and understand the context behind the various different offerings that we have today. Understand, as I have said and shared with each and every one of you the context beforehand, these offerings are consciously building our gratitude. And Sanatana Hindu Dharma is a religion of gratitude, not of fear. And when we only consciously build our gratitude, do we have that as a jumping board into the experience of the entire existence. So now, here we have the significance of the divine element gold. Gold has a lot of economic and social value nowadays. And of course, not nowadays, but of course, since time immemorial, since we itself know for all human civilization, gold is a very valuable item. And it's an element not just of economic and social value, but sacred, value, a sacred sentiment behind it. And it has so much of sacred properties behind as well. It's not just something that is a lot of money, or it's not just something that can place value in your relationships when you give it as a gift, but it has sacred value. Understand that gold is a divine element. It purifies anything that it touches, and it's an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power. It infuses sattva energy inside of anyone who touches it, even anyone who wears it, or anyone who sees it, or anyone who operates in its vicinity. And that is why gold is present in all the scriptures, the Agamas, the Vedas, the Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas. It's a very, very fine alchemy product, which can be literally implemented as a superconductor for super consciousness. In Hindu scriptures, the gold is offered in the rituals. It has so much of significance. And in the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold and exchanged in gold. When one was to be saved from life-threatening diseases, gold was offered as a ritual fee. And kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns of gold. Imagine the city of gold that we have always, from the very young age, dreamt about, is actually sourced from the Vedic scriptures and from Vedic civilization itself. In fact, we know for a fact that even all of the conquests upon in India from the very beginning of the colonial times, and even the times when there was no flights, no cars, and people were going about exploring the world on ships, India and the Hindu civilization was known for its riches and it's just a city of gold. And that is why people were attracted there in the first place. Just because it was just a city upon city of riches. It was a whole civilization that they had so much. And that is because we knew that gold is a supreme element for offering gifts and for literally understanding the sacred context, and literally where we understand and see all divine beings, all existence itself as divine itself. Gold is the only way that we can literally show to the world and literally experience that exuberance, that rich energy, because it preserves the enlightenment energy forever. And you'll see that many of these offerings today that you can make to Devi Parashakti on this very auspicious occasion that's coming up of Varalakshmi Vratam, many of these offerings are in gold. So you will, even on this day, it's very popular and very a custom, I can say, a tradition, where we can offer the gold coin as a gold coin to Lakshmi and do the Sahasranamam and do the japa of Lakshmi's name, because then Lakshmi simply pours. When we offer that out of our gratitude with whatever we have, and we offer, literally Lakshmi simply pours and helps us manifest that ultimate abundance in our life. It's a very special occasion for you to be offering, not just today night, but also tomorrow morning during the Bhava Samadhi darshan of Devi Parashakti. And even until today, understand, even until today, the Meenakshi Amman temple in Madurai, the oldest temple that exists, there is the very jewels that Devi Meenakshi, when she was living, the sovereign queen ruler that ruled more than 800 to 1000 years back, when she was ruling, she had literally worn these jewels, and those are still offered in the worship and alankaram to the deity of Meenakshi today. And that is the power that literally your sacred sentiment, your love for Devi Parashakti can be immortalized and offered again and again and again, and literally offered until time exists itself. So this has literally so much of value in each and every one of these offerings. And once again, I'm saying that there's such an auspicious time as well to offer for the Varalakshmi Vratam occasion. So let's now enter into all the different offerings that we have today. We have the Ihundi offering first. This is a very simple offering, and in our tradition, Hindu tradition, it's not just offering we make for our special occasions, or we make for when we are going on into something new in our lives, and when we have decided, yes, God has given me everything in my life, let me move on to the next. That's not the only time that we offer, but every single day we offer out of our gratitude for giving us the energy to move to the next day, to see the whole life with newfound inspiration. We offer this Ihundi offering. And in fact, we go to the temple every day because we are naturally attracted to a higher power. In fact, even if in your life you feel that you might not have the belief for God as it says, but you are naturally attracted to higher power, why then can you say that you might be so infatuated with things that demonstrate highest power in your life, whether it be in the field of business and relationships, or even in the animal field, even when we are going in, even in the animal kingdom, even when we go to the zoo? Why do we have so much of infatuation with the tigers and lions? Because they demonstrate power. And somehow we are reassured inside of us when we see the higher power in our life. And in Hindu civilization, we understood that, we knew that the existence of divine energy literally gives us that reassurance. And for just that giving us that reassurance, yes, I know the existential energy is there, it's taking care of us continuously, we offer out of gratitude. That is the significance of the Kundi offering. And every day, even I remember every day when going to the temple, even if my whole family was a part of the temple and we were so involved in the temple, simply we will offer a few coins, $1, how much ever we want into the hundi. My mother would give me a few coins and I will simply just offer, put it in the hundi. And it was not out of a prayer or anything like that, but just simply because we'd like to offer, and Devi Parashakti has made herself available for each and every one of us. So that experience, to complete the experience of the temple for you, we have brought that to the digital platforms, and you can offer it through the e-hundi. So this is once again a general donation that you can make. A general donation that you can make either out of on the YouTube super chat is one option, where you can, if you are joining in from YouTube and you know it's a super chat option, or you can go through the payment links and the payment gateways in order to make an offering through the e-hundi. And of course, here we have the verse from the scriptures, where it shows us how Devi Parashakti is the acceptor of all devotion. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharadaradhya, Sharvani Sharmadayini. Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. Yes. The next offering we have is the Sankalpa chanting. And the Sankalpa is a very powerful offering of gratitude for giving us all of the divine qualities, for giving us newfound inspiration for life itself. It's a very powerful offering of our gratitude for having given us life itself. And literally embedded within its lines is the gratitude for giving us all of the qualities, the divine qualities such as Kshema, Stairya, Virya, Vijaya, meaning even forgiveness, stability, courageousness, and Vijaya, which is victory. So it has so many different blessings inside of it. And we are just simply offering our gratitude to the divine for this. Now, let me just chant this pramana that we have and explain it, which gives us further more understanding, clarity, and beautiful context towards the towards this offering. Tayetam mohate vishvam shaiva vishvam prasuyate saya chitta vijanam pushtarudim The goddess enchants this universe, and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess, being prayed without interest in anything, gives the knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. This is from the Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 12, verse 34. And literally it's saying the goddess enchants this whole universe. It's such a beautiful way. I love that word enchant because it literally shows us that Devi Parashakti is in every single atom, in every single layer of this whole existence, the physical, the psychological, the mental, the emotional, and even down to our very consciousness level. She enchants this whole universe. Such a beautiful way to see it. And we are just offering our gratitude for Devi Parashakti for literally giving birth to this whole universe through this Sankalpa offering. You can make this offering today just for $1 as well. Now we have the next offering, which is the Sahasranama Swarna Kastu. And Devi Parashakti is referred as Nama Parayana Prita, or she who likes the repetition of her various names in the Lalita Sahasranama, verse 731. And this is the offering of the 1008 names of Devi Parashakti. It's a very special and unique archana which is offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti, and especially during this time of Varalakshmi Vratam, it is a custom and tradition that we offer the Varalakshmi Vratam, the Puja, Varalakshmi Puja, and we offer even the gold to Devi Parashakti. And here, this offering is the gold coin inscribed with each of the 1008 names of Devi Parashakti. And this is offering of gratitude of all of the divine qualities in that we might have. For example, you might feel you have so many divine or even qualities such as being able to love, being able to have intelligence. All of these are the qualities that we are that have happened in our lives, and for some reason we might even take these for granted. There's another beautiful story from the Guaranteed Solutions book, from the chapter on the discontentment to gratitude. Once again, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism narrated a story where once a geography teacher had been telling her class what are all the different 7 wonders of the world, and they started to name off the Great Wall of China, the pyramids of Egypt, and they also named off the Taj Mahal and so many other 7 wonders of the world. And one girl who was sitting in the back of the classroom was sitting very quietly, and she didn't understand what was going on. And the teacher asked her, "What's going on? Why are you not participating?" And she said, "How can there be only 7 wonders of the world? I have so many different wonders I can list off. I can see, I can hear, I can experience my life. I can love, I can laugh. All of these are the wonders for me." And that then immediately there was a penetrating silence in the whole classroom. The teacher herself was in awe that a small child can understand so much about our life and how much we take for granted. When we are offering these Sahasranamam, we are literally remembering each of the divine qualities, the qualities which are innately inside of each and every one of us. Many of these qualities and all of the embodiments of Devi Parashakti, the names of Devi Parashakti, are different forms and different names that we chant, and are innately actually a very divine quality, a representation of a energy. For example, intelligence is Saraswati. Like this, we literally are offering this to Devi Parashakti, and we're remembering her divine qualities that she imparted on us and that we enjoy today already. So you can offer your gratitude for giving us these divine qualities. It's not something that simply came out of nowhere. It is something that existence had evolved, had ensured the biological evolution happens, the physiological evolution happens, the psychological evolution happens, and from there only we actually are able to have these qualities today. So let us offer our gratitude for all the divine qualities that Devi Parashakti has given us, that she herself embodies. And you can offer this Sahasranama Swarnaka. So once again, this offering is very auspicious during the Varalakshmi Vratam and can bring so much more auspiciousness in your life just if we offer our gratitude. You'll see how Devi herself showers on us. We have next the Mukta Anguti, and here we have the verse from the Meenakshi Pancharatnam, which I'll now chant. Muktaharanala Kiritaruchiram Purnendu Vaktra Prabham Chinjannu Puri Kinkini Manidaram Padma Prabhavasuram Sarvabhita Palapradam Girisutam Vani Rama Sevitam Meenakshim Pranatosmi Santatamaham Karunyavaram Nidim. And the English translation says, I bow down to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and face shining like the full moon. She wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells. She is shining like the splendor of a lotus, who grants all wishes, the daughter of the cosmos, and who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. Yes, Devi Meenakshi is the embodiment of compassion. Always, just to remember, Devi Meenakshi is something that brings so much of joy. And Devi Meenakshi actually is the embodiment of compassion. In human history, we have even human history that is anthropologically and archaeologically recognized today. We have even when humans started first living and started first even being in the hunter and gatherer mode. They lived in separate tribes all over the world. And even there's evidence of these tribes and these small civilizations going to war with each other. And this is archaeologically proven. It's at that time, thousands of years back, when Devi Meenakshi is the incarnation of Parashakti who came down in that time in human history to unite all of the tribes and the various different nations that had formed across the world, the civilizations that had formed across the world. And that Devi Meenakshi had literally conquered in every single place and did the divine conquest in all 8 directions and gathered every single one of these tribes and made the first sovereign civilization all under one rule. And when she had gathered everyone and helped each and every tribe put apart their differences, drop the wars and conflicts that they were going on, that they were doing just as mother does, even between 2 siblings, and she brings them together and she says, look, let's work together. She literally brought down Kailasa on planet Earth, helped the whole civilization advance to the next level. And this was the earliest civilization on planet Earth. And there is actually archaeological proof of this. Devi Meenakshi was real, and she's not just a figment of our imagination in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. She is real, and she was the soul happened on planet Earth to unite each and every one of us. And it was out of her compassion that she had literally come down to planet Earth and united all the civilization and advanced the whole civilization. So we can offer this Mukta Anguti in order to offer a symbol of compassion to the embodiment of compassion, the ocean of compassion herself, Devi Meenakshi. Now the next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. And there's several references of the lotus being used in the worship of Paramashiva. And it says here, one of the verses from the Kamik Agama, it says, all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth, and they should be adorned with a lotus flower made of gold. And this offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa is just that, the offering of the lotus flower made of gold. And it has such great significance. And because the lotus itself is a in the plant kingdom, we can say it is a perfection of evolution, because no matter what kind of adverse situation it might be in, for example, even if the lotus is in polluted waters or it is in pond waters, it still retains its divine qualities, which flowers, plants cannot do. If you see many plants, they're not able to live in that same circumstance, retain their same beautiful qualities, even if they're put in polluted waters or if they're put in less water. But despite having little to no water, despite even maybe chemicals being in the water, the lotus still retains its divine qualities. And even there's so many different types of lotus. Even in the lotus species, it evolved to even having more and more different types of lotus. Even the golden lotus was actual real flower at that time. And golden lotus meaning the lotus which is looking gold, and it is actually a real flower. You can even Google it, the golden lotus, how a golden color and a golden hue to it, and that we even call the white lotus as well. Understand, I'm not making up stuff here. This is all a science, and this is something that we in Sanatana Hindu Dharma have seen as the best of the best. We saw in nature, what is the best of the best? We saw the lotus having the best qualities, and we wanted to offer that to the best existence, the existence itself. So you can offer this Swarna Padma Pushpa as a representation of the greatest quality that you can have, the quality to evolve. And you can also understand, you'll be blessed, be showered with Devi Parashakti's auspicious blessings, and have the state, space, powers, and being of Devi inner space, even in the most adverse situations of your life. The next offering is the Swarnameti, the golden toe ring. And here we have a golden jewelry which you can offer to Devi Parashakti. And as I said, these offerings of golden jewelry, the offering of gold has so much of significance, and it's literally immortalizing your love to Devi Parashakti for thousands and thousands of years. And there's a beautiful verse from the Saundarya Lahari composed by Adi Shankaracharya, where he literally sings the glory and the greatness of Devi Parashakti, and Devi Parashakti herself. And he comes down to say, yes, her smile is so beautiful. Her hand, the Abhaya Mudra that she gives is so compassionate. And he describes Devi Parashakti. Even he says that her very toenails leave aside everything else in the Devi Parashakti, the greatness of Devi Parashakti. But even her very toenails, the last inch of her body, is so beautiful, and it has the power to literally remove the darkness, remove ignorance from your life, and to remove from the minds of devotees the ignorance and the pain and the suffering. Understand that this reflects the concept, the cognition that we have of all of existence, even the last inch, the last beings that you think about, the stones, the rocks, even that we worship, we invoke, we see as God itself. So understand the greatness here, the greatest beauty of Devi Adi Shankaracharya had described, and how we are literally offering gold, offering an adorning embodiment of Devi Parashakti with a toe ring. And nowadays, it's become a fashion statement to wear toe rings and that kind of thing. But understand that in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we have the real context behind why we are adorning ourselves, why we are adorning our Devi Parashakti with the toe ring. Understand, actually, Hinduism is worshipped as Devi Parashakti. Even upon her wedding ceremony, she is adorned with this toe ring. And in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we offer our gratitude to Devi Parashakti for embodying these great divine qualities, and we offer the gold toe ring. well. So you can make this offering also, and you can go to tiny.cc/devi-offerings if you'd like to go ahead and make these offerings, any one of these offerings as well. The next offering we have is the Swarna Mantika, another beautiful offering. See, when we offer our gratitude to Devi Parashakti, only then will we feel that we would like to serve. We'll feel, yes, you've given me so much. Let me do at least any small thing to serve you, to ultimately just simply give your love. The love which you have poured on me, it will just go back and it becomes a cycle of love. And any of the gold jewelries that we are offering to Devi Parashakti is simply an adoration of Devi Parashakti. And we adorn Devi Parashakti with all of the love that we have for her, which ultimately she herself gave for us. And that is the cycle of gratitude that in Hindu civilization had actually created such an advanced civilization. So here we have the golden hairline jewelry, beautiful representation once again. The Mantika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully open. And the Sahasrara chakra, if you don't know, is the chakra of the crown center. So at the very top of your head, and that is actually represented by the 1,000-petaled lotus. So there you have another reference for lotus. And the 1,000-petaled lotus, when it blooms and you experience the bliss of gratitude in your life, that is represented by the Mantika. And Devi Parashakti is the very one who was initiated by Paramashiva. Her Sahasrara chakra opened, and we represent that the nectar overflowing from Devi Parashakti and her open Sahasrara chakra with the Mantika. So now we have the verse here, and it also says that Devi Parashakti is the Shuddha Sarabhi Varshani, she who makes that beautiful nectaral experience of bliss happen in us and makes the nectar flow from all of our nerves. The very pleasant experience of the ultimate. Such a beautiful verse. Yes. Now, next we have the next offering here. And I'm going to be going through the next offerings very quickly because we already are in time for the next segment here today. And we have the Pratyakshapada Puja next. And in this Pratyakshapada Puja is an offering to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Jagat Guru, the Guru for the whole universe, who has literally come down in order to take us through this pralaya, help us sail through this cosmic deluge. And whether it is Adi Shankaracharya who composed the Sri Guru Paduka Stotram, and he sung the greatness, the glories of the Guru Paduka, which literally, as he says, is the boat that takes us through and helps us through the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the endless ocean of samsara, pain and suffering. Or whether it is Sri Satya Sai Baba, who as another incarnation of Paramashiva, who sung the greatness and the glory of Guru in the first lines he ever uttered after his incarnationhood, where he says, Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam. And he said, literally, that means my heart, my whole being, my whole Manasa sings Bhajare, the glory of the Guru Charana, the Guru's Padukas or the Guru's feet. And even if it is of course, the Supreme himself, who has narrated, has initiated so many millions of people into the very Guru Tattva itself and the Guru disciple relationship, where he himself is manifesting as Arunagiri Yogeshwara and helping each and every one of us manifest enlightenment itself. So in all of these ways, the Guru Paduka and the Guru is such a beautiful way in our lives to attain enlightenment. And not only that, they have already given us so much. So offering of the Guru Paduka Pratyakshapada Puja is one of the best ways you can offer your gratitude. We also have the Vastra Seva as well. And the Vastra Seva is another way you can offer your gratitude to the one who has literally given us the protection of every single moment in our life, has given us protection. We are just giving this sacred thought, offering our respect, offering our love and adorning him, and offering us and saying, at least let me clothe you and protect you, decorate you in any way that I can. Yes. So this brings us to the conclusion of all the different offerings. I hope that some of these offerings have ignited your yearning to experience the ultimate oneness in your life. And you will be able to see there are several different offerings that you can do today. And that there are several different levels of the offerings. You don't have to feel any impossibility. That's another beautiful thing. Understand again that the Sanatana Hindu Dharma is not a religion of prayer, it's a religion of gratitude. And gratitude can only help us pave our way towards enlightenment, an experience of oneness itself. Seems to be there's technical glitches. I think we can stop the screen share and restart if it's need be. And you can ensure that you are offering your gratitude, consciously building the oneness experience inside of you. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has ensured that even if you want, once you can offer level that you want, even if you feel that perhaps right now you cannot offer so much of money or so and immediately offer, you have two options. One is you can make an offering of any amount through the e-hundi offering, or you can register in the at the URL tiny.cc/Devi Bhavasamadhi and Bhavasamadhi Darshan. You can see we can have that link projected, and in that link you will be able to fill out a brief form. Yes, thank you so much. You can see the link now. Thank you for showing that. It's tiny.cc/Bhavasamadhi. And sorry for the technical glitch. And in this link, you can make sure that you are getting to know all the different offerings that you can make. And yes, thank you. You can see how you can make the payment today. So once you go to the link tiny.cc/Devi-offering, you'll be led to a page where you can select the offerings. You can add that to your cart and then proceed for checkout. So yes, okay, this is the gateway. And this is where you can select the payment that you'd like to make. Sorry, select the offering that you'd like to make, and then you can add that to your cart, and you can proceed with the next step. So as you can see, as all of us are going online nowadays with even our shopping and everything, now Kailasa has brought to you making an offering through the digital platforms. So in this few short steps, you can simply make an offering, and it can be a very easy experience for you in just a couple of clicks. And you can also make an offering through the YouTube super chat. If you're joining us from YouTube, which I know that many of you are, I see the comments and the interaction. And you can always make a donation through the YouTube super chat, which YouTube has very truly given us a way to make a donation and make an offering if you want as well. And as well, if you want to know of the future offerings, I invite you once again to go to the link. Oh, here we have the YouTube super chat. And first of all, I invite all of the viewers, if you are joining with us from YouTube and you're not already, please join on our channel. You can become a member of this channel, and that gives you access to more than 7,000 videos and more than 20,000 hours of the various different solutions for your life brought to you, revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And you can also use this platform in order to make a donation if you want to, and in order to make an offering. So you can go to the YouTube super chat, you can see the $sign in the right-hand side corner of the chat, and then you can make a donation. You can make a donation through the credit card, through debit card, or through PayPal today. So yes, I see so many of you are watching, and many of you have made donations. Thank you so much for your offerings and your donations towards Kailasa. It's always so amazing, and being able to interact and see each and every one of you commenting and making excited comments. Yes, and once again, I'm very, very excited to announce to each and every one of you that we will be having the grace and blessing of the live Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan on the occasion of Varalakshmi Vratam. So in a few hours, we're entering into that auspicious time, and I can feel it literally in my whole being, the auspicious time that is fastly approaching us. And you can ensure that right now is the time that you are getting prepared. You are staying tuned, especially to the programs. Make sure that you are liking and connecting with each and every one of us, every one of the social media platforms where Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made himself available, so that you can get connected to all of the different notifications, and make sure you don't miss out on any of the announcements that are coming forward. So now we'll be moving on to the next segment of today's program, where Devi Parashakti has literally ways, has guided each and every one of us in every possible, and even through the form of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, taking care and ensuring that even during the pandemic, the ongoing pandemic that is going on, that each and every Kailasa that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established is opened up as a multi-quarantine center. And we have joining with us a representative from the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnya Peetham, one of our most senior sannyasis, who has literally been hard and been contributing and been in the very ground level, working continuously in order to bring and open up this very beautiful opportunity and saving that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally made available, and has been on the ground and ensuring that is happening and being executed, and protecting, saving the lives of millions of people. So we'll now be entering into the next segment of today's program by Ma Dayami Swami. It's always so nice and so amazing to me, at least, to be able to introduce Ma Dayami Swami to all the viewers and share the next segment in today's program. So we'll now be entering into the next segment, and we will understand how the Parashakti has manifested and has literally been taking care of millions of people through the hard work of the Kailasa quarantine centers and Kailasa COVID care centers that the Supreme Pontiff has opened up.
Thank you, Ma Sadashivapriya. Nithyanandam, everyone. Welcome back to this segment of this revival. In this segment, we are going to see the revival of the temple sciences and ecosystem by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. With the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivan's blessings, let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So as you see across the India, the many famous temples are in lockdown period, a shutdown for an indefinite period. You see the temples from the Siddhi Vinayaka temple and the Shirdi Sai Baba temple in Maharashtra and Puri Jagan temple remain closed for the public, and the famous Puri Jagannath temple, and not only that, all religious places like temples, mosques, gurudwaras, churches, they all shut down for devotees till further orders. And not only that, in Uttar Pradesh, major Mathura temples ban the entry of the devotees. And the famous Gujarat Somanath temple is also shut down amidst the COVID-19 race. We have just seen the few examples of these temples shut down, and during this time, when the COVID-19 is rampant and the ancient temples are in a lockdown because of the risk of the widespread corona disease, the devotees of these temples were visiting and having darshan of their gods and goddesses for thousands of years. Yet all these ancient sacred sentiments have come to a harming halt after the lockdowns have taken place. The religious fervor of the devotees is being lost due to the pandemic. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving the e-Kailasa ecosystem and bringing all the ancient traditions of the online platforms on Kailasa TV, YouTube, and Facebook. So we will understand more about why temples and why deity worship, and what is the temple structure and how the temples radiate the energy, and how it is relevant, very important aspect of our life to have these temple-based ecosystems. The temple ecosystem of Kailasa. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, reviving the enlightened civilization is the vision of Kailasa, the purpose of my advent. Paramashiva assuming this body and manifesting. Kailasa is basically an enlightened civilization where everything happens based on the ultimate cosmic principle and ultimate possibilities and powerfulness. You want to know about the universe? Just they will show you the universe and teach you. And you want to know about the cosmos? They will just show you the cosmos and simple and straightforward way. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we had at least 10,000 sampradayas, religions, spiritual traditions, keeping this enlightenment science alive. Each Hindu sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created for keeping the enlightenment science alive. Every monastery, every adhinam, every mutt, every temple, every Veda Patashala, every Sarvajna Pita is a lineage or the sampradaya created to keep the ecosystem of spiritual enlightenment alive. Some may be Shakta. These are the various traditions. Some may be Shakta, some may be Yoga, some may be Vedanta, some may be Yoga, some may be Tantra, some may be Yoga Vedanta, or some may be Yoga Shaiva, some may be Vaidika Shaiva. All kinds of permutation and combination. Each temple, each mutt, each monastery, each adhinam, each Veda Patashala, each Sannyasa Sampradaya is a spiritual ecosystem created to keep the enlightenment science alive of that Sampradaya. So Hindu temples are not just worship altars or religious congregation place, or just memorial for certain legendary person or incident. Hindu temples are residence of God. That is why in Chidambaram, Nataraja is one of the Dikshitar. And in Srirangam, Ranganatha is one of the Bhaktar and who is doing the puja himself. Understand? The temples are a residence of God in any traditions of across the world. There was a time in Hinduism, we had 56 nations. independent nations, 200 states, 1,700 provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas. Almost 95% of them, population of those days, was Hindus. Slowly, the brutal terrorists invading life negative gangs enter, destroy the spiritual ecosystems, the enlightened ecosystems. In last 1,000 years, we did not have a single nation, we did not have a single state, we did not have a single province practicing Hinduism as a state religion legitimately. And in 10,000 sampradayas, without any doubt, I will say only 200 are left alive, struggling to be alive. And there are three unique things of Hinduism: ability to make the divine land and get rooted in the deity, that is called Prana Pratishta. Second, the incarnations landing, the ecosystem where the incarnations land, the enlightenment spiritual ecosystem where the incarnations happen. Third, the devotion to the feminine consciousness, that is the Devi worship. These are the unique to Hindu tradition. So Kailasa is a place where everything related to super consciousness is revived. All the sampradayas, all the spiritual ecosystems created for enlightenment will be revived and established in such a way it never gets lost again. They are there forever, serving the humanity. The enlightenment ecosystem, Adi Kailas. Like Adi Kailas, every monastery, temple is an ecosystem for keeping the enlightenment science alive and flourish, which can automatically make people enlightened. It is like an enlightenment, automatic machinery. Anybody comes in, they just introduced, inspired, excited, energized, and make the power manifestator enlightened and start radiating, and they start speaking, spreading. Enlightenment becomes this source for energy and excitement. A person who can make the enlightenment as a source for energy and excitement for anyone is an incarnation. Fortunately, we are successful in making enlightenment as the source for energy and excitement to millions of people all over the world. Cosmic energy is available Sorry for the technical glitch. Apologize for the technical glitch. Yes. So just as a rich man leaves behind his wealth for the next generation, after he leaves the body, enlightened masters leave behind the huge energy that they bring with them in the form of temples. So, for instance, the four main Shankara Pitams were established by the 18th century master Adi Shankara. The Chidambaram temple by Patanjali, the Palani temple by the Siddha Bhogar, the Arunachaleshwara temple by the Saint Idai Kadar, and Tirupati by the Konganavar, and Tanjore by the Karuvarur. The powerful spiritual vibrations present in these places are so palpable that even the most casual visitor can feel its effects in the form of peace, bliss, or clarity. When maintained properly using the subtle powers of mantras, rituals, and meditation, temples can hold and radiate this precious energy for thousands of years. Now we'll see the temple structures. In Hinduism, temples are designed as energy centers, energized by the great enlightened masters to radiate the enlightened master's presence even when they leave their body. Temples are found deliberately at a place where the positive energy is available abundantly from the magnetic and electric wave conveyances of north and south poles push. The idol of God is set in the core center of the temple, known as Garbhagruha or Sanctum Sanctorium. This is the area where the Earth's magnetic field is discovered to be the most extreme. Therefore, the Dvajastambha, the flagpole, being transformer. The huge domes are for amplifying the energy. The temples were systematically built for the transmission of energy on a large scale. Temples and the enlightened masters. When a rich man dies, he leaves behind his wealth to his wife, daughters, and sons. When enlightened masters leave the body, they leave their wealth of energy, penance, and goodness to humanity at large. Temples are built on these energy fields left behind by them. Either the master themselves build these temples, or they are, when they are alive, or the people who build them after the masters leave the body. These temples are further sanctified through rituals that harness the divine cosmic energy. The famous temple at Kedarnath in the Himalayan range was built by the great master Adi Shankara. The Arunachaleshwara temple of Tiruvannamalai, South India, is ascribed to a great saint called Idai Kadan. And these temples are divine gifts of these great masters to humanity. There are two types of people. The first type generate energy from their own system. They are like solar system. Wherever they are, they produce energy. They radiate energy. Whatever they do, they excel in it. Whatever they touch flourishes. They are the ones who nourish the world, and they are the enlightened masters. And the second type of people are those who have forgotten the art of producing energy from their inner source. These people may flourish, but maybe in one or two fields, and that too out of the superficial energy source called mind. Since their source is superficial, multidimensional flourishing remains a dream for them. Ordinary people from the world, the first category of people, help the second category of people by giving energy a clear-cut technology to achieve. Now, what are the installing deities? As per the way, there are two ways to install the energy in a deity. One is Agama Pratishta and the other is Prana Pratishta. In Agama Pratishta, energy installation is done by the second category of the people. It is done essentially through chanting of the mantras. This method will install only a few volts of energy. The energy intensity will be decided by nature of the mantras, the accuracy with which it is chanted, and above all, the psychological state of the person chanting them. In Prana Pratishta, the energy installation is done by the first category of people. It happens through a direct connection with the divine cosmic energy that nourishes the whole universe. The first category of people, who are the enlightened masters, are pure channels for the divine cosmic energy to flow through. They can choose what manifestation of the energy they wish to install. For the goodwill of society, these masters have worked on the science of the inner world and have installed various aspects of the divine energy in these devices, in these deities. Every historic temple has its own significance. Each deity has its own boon to offer depending on the type of energy installed in it. That is why, in order to conceive children, you go to a particular temple. In order to wed a suitable spouse, you go to a different temple. To defy planetary influences, you go to a different temple. For financial problems, you go to a different temple. So these benefits are nothing but the special energy packs. Temples are structures that replace an enlightened master's presence. Enlightened masters, by the sheer presence, heal people. They heal not just the physical level, but the being level. The inspiration for spirituality alive. Their presence offers an ambience of sacredness. Temples are spaces created by masters to offer these same things that they offer. While consecrating the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva temple sanctum at the Bangalore Adinam, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, said, "An enlightened master is the cosmos in human form. The ultimate human form fit to perform a sanctum consecration." For an enlightened master, the energies of expression through any means never gets exhausted. For example, for an ordinary human being, the grief emotion or the joy emotion exhausts when expressed through tears. The pitta, the fire element of the body, exhausts through anger. The lust energy exhausts through a sexual act. The power of speech exhausts in his very saliva the moment it is uttered. All these energies of expression become exhausted as he uses them. An enlightened master's energy of expression cannot be exhausted through any of these means, because he is existence, the inexhaustible source of energy in human form. Because masters do not need a body to execute their work, they can continue to do these things they do even after they have left their physical body. The sanctum created and energized by them will radiate the inexhaustible energy and nurture energy being that seeks it. Only a master who can function without the help of his body is capable of creating a true sanctum, one that will materialize, things exactly the way he does it. So many of us wondering, if God is everywhere, why go to a temple? If you are wondering this kind of question, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa has a beautiful answer. Sri Ramakrishna is a great enlightened master of the 20th century, gave a beautiful answer. There is a milk all over the cow's body, but we cannot get it just by piercing it anywhere. Though the cosmic energy is available everywhere, we are not able to perceive it because it is extremely subtle. Cosmic energy is available in the most subtle form. An enlightened being or highly evolved soul knows the science of distilling this subtle energy into a gross form which we can perceive and absorb. Temples are engineered by the great rishis in such a way that cosmic energy becomes available to all as a source of healing and spiritual transformation. Then, if you're one of those who are wondering why so many temples in Hinduism, in India, about 90% of all tourist attractions are temples. There are lakhs of temples across length and breadth of India. And in places like Varanasi, for every person living there, there is a temple. But why so many temples? Whatever a civilization thinks as the highest experience, it builds structures related to that. If people in a country thinks football is the greatest experience, they build magnificent football stadiums all over. If people think education is the greatest experience, they build schools and colleges. For thousands of years, Hindus in India thought of enlightenment and God as the highest experience. So they built temples. For this reason, in any city, there will be a large temple built first, and then a city will form around it. The human body is considered a miniature of the cosmos, and a temple is an expansion of the human form. Now let us see the science of temples. For thousands of years, Hindus in India have thought of the enlightenment is the highest experience. So temples are created to replace an enlightened master's presence. Enlightened masters, when they leave their body, they wanted a space which can continuously inspire people, which can continuously heal, which can give them the experience of spirituality, which can give them a sacred feeling. In every tradition, creating a space for divine or creating a place in which people can relate with the divine has become part of their culture, part of their life. People have put aside any constraints of money and time to erect inspiring structures built on faith, science, and mastery, as well as throughout the passage of time. Some of these magnificent structures around the world have become museums and wonders, and some continue to be the sects of religious authority. Continue to attract the faithful of offering energy, social interaction, and a framework for life itself. But for many, the science of temples built on thousands of years of research and development has been lost. The understanding has been lost through the physical structure are still standing. For some, they believe the experience is no longer there. By understanding the science of Indian temples, humans can experience the intelligence, power, and miracles that these structures were made from and for. So what does energy have to do with the temples? Many continue to attract the faithful, offering solace, interaction, and a framework for the life itself. When an enlightened insight into the play of matter and energy that makes up the universe, the Vedic seers had declared more than 10,000 years ago that whatever exists is nothing but energy. Ishavashyam idam sarvam. From the Ishavasya Upanishad, first statement. The last statement of science, E is equal to mc square, that whatever exists is energy, is the first statement of Upanishad. Whatever exists is energy. So the last statement of science is the first statement of Upanishads. Whatever exists is energy. In modern times, temples are truly the oxygen bars for the soul. Whether one is aware of it or not, a constant energetic exchange is happening between humans and their environment. People live and move in an ocean of chaotic energies, both positive and negative. On certain levels, people are powerfully influenced by the energies and thoughts of others. The energies of living and working spaces, the residual energies of the objects that are touched, the energy and the situations encountered. Energy imbalances in the body are the root cause for a vast majority of ailments, from obesity to insomnia to mood swings. Today, more than ever before, the Vedic intelligence that gave rise to the concept of temples can be appreciated for its ancient and modern technology based on thousands of years of research and development. The powerful positive vibrations present in a temple can flush out negative energies. Without even being aware of it, deep cleansing, recharging, and ultimately purifying of the being can happen effortlessly in a temple, resulting in physical and mental healing. In modern times, temples are truly the oxygen bars for the soul. A temple is more than a building. The entire art of building temples is not a mere art. It is a science. Temple architecture is a highly developed science. Every single facet of it, from the size of the idols and the size of the rooms and the courtyards, the directions in which each has to be situated, to the process of installing the idol in the sanctum. All these are laid down in detail in manuals that were developed thousands of years ago. It's more than just a building or a structure. It is the image and energy of the divine. A temple is a miniature cosmos comprised of the 5 elements and a presiding deity. A temple is an outgrowth of the deity which has its own independent intelligence and from which energy is constantly radiating. Temples are also used for social interactions, spiritual education, cultural events, and economic exchange. Temples provide the opportunity for transformation towards a higher consciousness. By experiencing God in an outer form through worship, temples and the deities act as a vehicle or bridge for inner transformation. Essentially, temples were designed to be the spaces where the mind spontaneously moves within and meditation happens effortlessly. Every aspect of the temple, from the architecture to the ritual to the kind of worship offered, have been consciously created to make this experience happen. When thousands of millions of people congregate to celebrate the divine and offer gratitude, any place becomes a temple, a place of worship. Now, let's watch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaks about the deities holding the energy when doing the Prana Pratishtha.
settling, I wanted to do this Kumbhabhishekam. And then the Shivacharyas have advised us that only after the Uttrayanam, Uttrayana Punyakala means after the Uttrayana starts, we are having a good date, Uttamottama date for Kumbhabhishekam. So that's the reason we waited. And see, fundamentally deity intensely receives the energy like a lightning and holds it and manifests continuously for the whole humanity. You see, it's like if I have to talk to you in a normal social language, it's like a lightning holder. See, I can get into the Samadhi, one with Paramashiva, and bring the whole thing to planet Earth. But the deity should be able to hold it and manifest it, radiate it for the humanity. So that is the reason the beautiful, dense, most dense granite deity is made. The earlier, the Avudayar we made, too much of power manifestation, it has given crack in multiple places. I don't know how you guys will be able to believe. Maybe I'll tell them to show the video. Such dense granite cracks to pieces and so carefully maintained with so much of all the Abhishekam, Puja and everything. Crack is the last thing you can imagine in dense granite, but so many places that earlier Avudayar has had, and that's the reason we made the new deity with more dense granite now. More dense granite, the deity is done, so it can withstand the power manifestation and hold the power for quite a long time. Maybe at least 12 years it can hold. And before that I'm planning for the different level of granite for Avudayar. I wanted to teleport from the other planets where the 100 times more dense than planet Earth's granite is available. And anyhow, all that I'll do it and then show, and instead of giving material for trolls, I'll give information after everything is achieved, after everything is done.
So the very temple structure and murtis are energy vibrating at frequencies that raise our own frequency. This idea of temples at a metaphysical level goes beyond symbolism. A temple is usually seen as a link between the man and the divine, between the earthly life and the divine life, between the actual and the ideal. The temple, as a bridge between the earthly mundane and the divine, starts to narrow as the link at the bridge disappears and one actually experiences the energy or divinity within the temple structure and therefore within themselves. The temple, as a bridge between the earthly mundane and the divine, starts to narrow as the link or bridge disappears and one actually experiences the energy or a divinity within the temple structure and therefore within themselves. The very temple structure and murtis are energy vibrating at frequencies that raise one's own frequency. The 5 elements representing the macrocosm are seen in all aspects of temples. In the construction, the worship, and the rituals. In the temple itself, the foundation of the temple represents the earth, that is Prithvi, the walls of the sanctum, water, the Apaha, and the tower over the over it is the fire, that is Tejas. The final tire of the Vimana. Above it is the formless space, that is Akasha. The sanctum is thus a constellation of 5 elements that are basic building blocks of all existence. In physical form, the temple is conceived as the physical form of God. The Garbhagriha, the Garbha is in Sanskrit is for womb, and Griha means a room. So represent the head, and the Gopura, the tower at the feet of the deity. So vertically, the Garbhagriha represents the neck, and the Srikara, the superstructure over the Garbhagriha, the head, the tuft of hair, the Shika. When a devotee enters the temple, they are virtually entering into an energetic mandala and participating in an energy field. Their progress through the outer halls or pavilions to reach the inner sanctum or Garbhagriha represent the phases of progress in one's journey towards the divine. Now, with this understanding of what are the temple structures, now let us understand why deity worship. With the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in his own words, please understand, deities are not mere idols. They are embodiment of ideals. We do not worship the idols, but we worship the ideals represented through the idols. When the divine is present before him in a form that he can see, touch, and relate to, the transmutation becomes an easy and joyful process. Second, the deities in a real kshetra. A kshetra is a place where the high frequency vibrational energy is present for thousands of years. So, deities in a real kshetra are always called of ancient masters and enlightened beings. So even though no longer invoked through the name or form they used while in the physical plane. So when we pray to the deity, a chant's responding divine vibration is automatically awakened and becomes available on the energy plane to guide and bless us. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says,